Hello students. So this is our video number part 3 of the chapter Our Environment. So it's clear from the board that we are going to discuss about ozone layer today. So first of all, we should have known about the ozone gas. So ozone is a light bluish colored gas. Okay, the color of ozone is light bluish colored and it is found in stratosphere. Already we have seen, right? It is found in stratosphere. It is a light bluish colored gas. It is basically explosive in nature. Okay, so it has the property of explosive and it has a pronounced odor. Okay, it has a characteristic smell. So these all are the properties about ozone. So now this ozone layer was first discovered in the year 1913 by scientist Charles Fabry. Okay, ozone layer was first discovered by scientist Charles Fabry in the year by French scientist Charles Fabry in the year 1913. After that, the properties of ozone that was discovered by British scientist. The properties of ozone was discovered by scientist G. Dobson. By British scientist G. Dobson, the properties were discovered and Charles Fabry discovered the ozone layer. Okay. So now we are going to discuss about the formation of ozone layer or the formation and depletion of ozone layer we are going to discuss now. So basically in the stratosphere there is ozone gas as well as oxygen gas present. Okay, in stratosphere both ozone gas and oxygen gas both are present. Now what happens? So the oxygen first will absorb the highly energetic UV radiation. Oxygen, it will absorb the highly energetic UV radiation and it will undergo photolysis reaction. Photo means what? Photo means light, okay, and lysis means breaking. So whenever the breaking of a molecule takes place by absorption of some light radiation, so this is called photolysis reaction. So here first oxygen molecule, it will be broken down into two oxygen atoms. Okay, so first we will get two atoms of oxygen. First we will get two atoms of oxygen. Now what will happen? This is the first step. And this the topic that we are now discussing is formation of ozone. Formation of ozone in stratosphere. This is the topic. Okay, formation of ozone in stratosphere. That how ozone is formed from the oxygen gas. So first oxygen will be broken down into two oxygen atoms. Now in the second step, again the oxygen atom which is now highly reactive. Okay, this oxygen atom, it is in the free state, so therefore it will be more reactive. It will be more reactive because it wants to get to a stable form, so that's why it will be more reactive. So now it will react with the oxygen molecule again and it will form a ozone molecule, that is O3. Okay, it will form the ozone molecule. So these two steps are involved in the formation of ozone. Second is now this ozone can again be converted into oxygen. So the next step is formation of oxygen again. Formation of oxygen. Okay. So what happens here? So in the unpolluted air, where minimum amount of amount of pollutants are present. So there what happens, this ozone gas now again it will absorb the UV radiation. Okay, and what condition that I have mentioned here, in unpolluted air. Okay, in unpolluted air means where the pollutants are present but they are present in a limited quantity. Okay, at that quantity the negative effect of those pollutants are very low. So at that condition oxygen again, sorry, ozone, it will absorb the UV radiation and it will form one oxygen molecule and again one oxygen atom. Okay, again one oxygen atom will be produced here. So this reaction will that will take place in multiple times. So from there two oxygen atoms again now will react between them to make a oxygen molecule. Okay, to make oxygen molecule, or this ozone also, this reaction is also possible, as well as this oxygen, as well as this oxygen atom that now can react with the ozone and it will break this ozone molecule to form two molecules of O2. So these two reactions are possible in the next step. These are the two steps for formation of oxygen again from ozone. In the first step you can see, in the first step ozone that absorbs UV radiation and it breaks down into oxygen molecule and one oxygen atom. Now these oxygen atoms can react between themselves to make one oxygen molecule, as well as that oxygen atom now can make attack on this ozone and it will break it down into two oxygen molecules. So the first step, the first two steps were the formation of ozone and the last two steps are the formation of oxygen. Now these two steps that will take place simultaneously in the stratosphere. Okay, these two steps that will take place simultaneously means at the same time these two reactions will be continued, or it will continue. So this will help in balancing the total amount of ozone and balancing the total amount of oxygen. Okay, so therefore continuously oxygen will be converted into O3 and O3 will be again converted into oxygen. So that simultaneous two reactions, one is formation of ozone, another one is formation of oxygen, that will take place continuously. So which helps in maintaining the total amount of oxygen as well as ozone in the stratosphere layer. Okay, now what happens? Now when, because of the presence of greenhouse gases, because of the presence of pollutants in the atmosphere, what happens? Because of this, the second layer now becomes more emphasized than the first layer. Okay, because different types of pollutants or different types of greenhouse gases, okay, that are present in the layer, in the outside the earth, so in the atmosphere, so they will absorb more UV radiations, or they will trap the heat inside the earth. So because of that, because of increase in heat, okay, ozone will be converted more into oxygen and oxygen atom. That means the breaking of ozone and the formation of oxygen, this step will occur at a more rate, okay, in large amount than the previous step. So therefore this balance will be hampered and the formation or the amount of ozone, it will be greater than the amount of O3. Okay, the amount of O3, it will be greater than the amount of O2, that will be greater than the amount of O3. So because of this, we could see the depletion in the ozone layer. Okay, because of this, because of the pollutants, ozone, it will absorb more and more UV radiations, okay, from the sun. So because of this depletion of ozone, this step is also known as depletion of ozone. Not only formation of oxygen, this step can also be known as depletion of ozone. Okay, so the second step, that is the depletion of ozone, it will favor then the formation of ozone. So therefore the amount of oxygen, that will be greater than the O3. So this causes depletion in the ozone layer. Okay, so that is the point. So because of this, a hole is created, not a hole, many holes. That means hole means actually what? That the amount of ozone gas present in the stratosphere is decreasing day by day. So when the amount of ozone is decreasing in the stratosphere, so more UV radiations now can enter into our earth, and UV radiations obviously are very harmful for human life as well as for all the living beings. Okay, so that's why these all are the negative effects, or the side effects of this depletion of ozone layer. So next thing is, what are the things that mainly cause the depletion in ozone layer? One is chlorofluorocarbons. Okay, chlorofluorocarbons. So different types of compounds containing carbon, fluorine and chlorine, these are called chlorofluorocarbons. So it could be CF3Cl, CF2Cl2, CFCl3. So different types of compounds that contain carbon, fluorine and chlorine in it is known as chlorofluorocarbons. So this chlorofluorocarbons are released in atmosphere by different sources, just like from refrigerators, from coolers. Okay, this can release into the atmosphere. And what happens when they react with the ozone layer? So what is the mechanism? That question is also very important. What is the mechanism of depletion of ozone layer caused by chlorofluorocarbons? So as I have told, that whenever the amount of this type of pollutants like chlorofluorocarbons that will be increased in the atmosphere, so they will absorb more UV radiations. Okay, because of their increased amount in atmosphere, they will absorb more UV radiations, and by absorbing UV radiations, it will be broken, or it will form two free radicals in this way. CF2, yes, CF2, then Cl dot. These are called free radicals. Okay, these are called free radicals because they are having one free atom. They are having one atom with a free electron. So whenever any compound or any atom, okay, any molecule or any atom, it contains a free electron in it. These are free electrons. So whenever they contain this, these are called free radicals. Now this chlorine atom, that free radical again, which is very highly reactive, whenever it will come in contact with the ozone, it will break it, and a chlorine monoxide, it will be formed along with the formation of oxygen. Chlorine monoxide along with the formation of oxygen. Okay, now so this free radical of chlorine that breaks down the ozone molecule into chlorine monoxide and oxygen. So this is the depletion of ozone by CFC. This is the main reaction of depletion of ozone by CFC, because in the first step this pollutants like CFC, it will absorb UV radiations and it will be broken down into two free radicals, among which chlorine is more reactive. So chlorine will make an attack over the ozone gas, and it will break it down into oxygen gas and chlorine monoxide. So because of this, depletion of ozone takes place by this one. Now, more and more, when the reaction continues or when the reaction proceeds, more and more chlorine monoxides will be formed. Now it can react with oxygen atoms. Okay, oxygen atom that is already present in the stratosphere. Just like in the first step, that was the formation of ozone. There we have seen that oxygen atoms will be formed by depletion of oxygen atoms can be formed by depletion of the oxygen by absorption of UV radiation. So if that oxygen atom, if it now reacts with this chlorine monoxide, so again it will make a free radical of chlorine plus O2, oxygen gas, and again one free radical of chlorine will be formed. So which is highly reactive. So again it will make an attack over another molecules of ozone. So the breaking of ozone by CFC will continue. Okay. So by this way, depletion of ozone layer takes place. Okay, next point. Not only CFC, nitrogen oxides are also responsible. Whenever the nitrogen oxides react with ozone, it will break it down. Nitrogen oxides means, suppose NO plus O3, so it will form NO2 plus O2. Okay, next one is NO2 plus O3. So this ozone has again been broken into oxygen. So again NO2 plus O3, from there nitrogen trioxide and oxygen will be released. So oxides of nitrogen can also break it down. So many other industrial sewages are also there, just like methyl chloride, methyl bromide, they can also break the ozone gas. So what is the function of ozone layer in atmosphere? That already we have discussed today. That ozone layer helps in absorption of harmful UV rays, because UV rays are very much harmful for all the living beings and for our earth also. So ozone layer, the ozone gas present in the stratosphere, it absorbs the UV radiation, by which it helps to protect life in our earth. But if depletion of ozone layer continues day by day, so what will happen then? So the UV radiations will get no obstruction in entrance to our earth. So therefore, because of the entering of UV ray, different type of effect we can see in plants as well as in animals. Just like in plants, there will be the retardation of the growth of plants. Okay, there will be retardation of pollen germination. So different effects we can see, as well as in human life, different types of diseases like skin cancer, okay, skin tan or skin burn, cataract, different types of effects we can see because of the UV radiations. So these all are the things. And so what measures we can take to control the ozone layer depletion? So in place of CFC, the uses of CFC should be prevented, okay, or it should be decreased. And in place of CFC, different alternatives like HFC, hydrochlorofluorocarbons, that can be used in that place. So that will help in reducing the depletion of ozone layer. So different types of measures that we can see. Okay, so today's class is ending here. So in our next class, we will come with the next topic. Thank you everyone for watching this video. Have a good day.